And
So I'm right on
transition. Boop.
So I'm right on time.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Alrighty then. So when we
So,
the world famous Avalon Le FAE.
yep. But before we get to more of this story, I'm gonna press my luck. All right.
Oh,
You
of
don't
course
get
you
any
are.
whammies. Hey, you walked right into that one, Silver.
I mean, yeah, I guess I did. All right. Let's see. Ugh. Gotta get my mojo flowing. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama
Oh, and
kusa.
he left. He left.
What?
He left.
It's probably just a connection
Yeah.
thing. All right. Gonna do the thing. Rin, pyo, to, sa, hai, yin,
I think
right,
this got crashed on my
So-
end.
zen, ho. Barashi no jutsu, kido.
Alrighty then.
Oop.
Godspeed, I get Morgan and it's Hamlet. Or Payne, rather.
Okay.
I mean, it's a bit, man. He has a theme.
I know, I'm just wishing him luck.
Saber Gilles de Ray. Great start.
Not. Yeah, Saber Jill, bless to your roll.
Ah,
God.
Bless you.
Isn't it?
Thank you.
Already not looking great.
Yeah, I think my accidental luck sacking really did damage.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Ryder. Well, Bupkiss. I at least have a Hail Mary roll, so... Alright. Let's try it one more time. Rin, pyo, to, sa, hai, jin, retz, zai, zen, ho. Barashi no jutsu, kiro. And nope. And I have a paycheck coming up this weekend, so I'm not that bothered.
Now, with that being said,
Yeah? Yeah?
last time on Lost Belt 6, we
God, Pat.
finally
You bloody Mike.
made it to the penultimate Lost Belt, in which Silver's tech started to frizz out because
Twitch is a bitch.
reasons.
Because Twitch is a bitch.
Alright, well... we're looking at riders this time, so okay. Good morning, everyone. I've been asked to show you around the village today. Our territory isn't all that big, though, so it won't take very long. Cornwall is built on the remains of an ancient city. When the Tom Lynn defeated the Lord of Cornwall about 200 years ago, the Lord cursed the woods with a fog that would rob fairies of their memories. This village was abandoned not long after. From there it became the most dangerous area in all of Britain. Even the Queen wouldn't come near it. Nobody will follow you in here. It's basically a penal colony. A penal colony? So, does that mean everyone here is a criminal? No, not exactly. This territory is a home for all kinds of outcast fairies. Fae whose roles have ended, Fae who aren't worth anything anymore, Fae who lost their friends, Fae who lost their purpose. All we can do now is wait for our lives, our fates, to come to an end. Every fairy here is so kind. They'd much rather help each other than compete with one another. But there isn't a place for Fae like that in Her Majesty's Britain. Dying is much better than having members of your own clan laugh at you, or ignore you, or steal from you. So everyone here came to this forest to end things. At least, that's what I think. Well, aren't you a ray of fucking sunshine? I don't know what to say.
Hey, it's Lysander. Man, yesterday was a blast, huh? Anyone who enjoys a good meal as much as you do is alright in my book. Hope you're hungry, because I'll be bringing plenty more food back with me today. Good day, Lysander. I must say, your voice is as warm and full of life as the spring breeze. Why not try your hand at a song today? I'll even break out my harp for the first time in ages. Hey, Lysander. Let me know if you need any of your clothes mended. I've still got some cloth from Norwich left over, and I'm sure you'd look good in whatever I whip up.
Bewildered at the difference in treatment. You certainly are popular, aren't you, Lysander? I mean, I'm in much the same boat myself, but... I guess you just have that certain, je ne sais quoi about you. I'm kind of oblivious when it comes to that sort of thing, so... Really? I think you're perfectly wonderful too, Mash. Lysander just has a kind of refreshing aura about him. His presence alone makes things more fun. But your aura is more... warm? Bright? I'm not sure what the right word is. I can only say there's something nostalgic about it. It reminds me of more peaceful times. You're spot on. As a matter of fact, my cheerful nature is the only thing I've got going for me. I've long made it a point to keep smiling, no matter what the circumstances might be. Thank you so much. Yes, that's true. There's nothing better than a smile. Alright, let me show you around the rest of the village. As long as you know how big our territory is, you won't disappear until the day of endings. Well, that's our village's territory. Is there anything else you'd like to know? The Nameless Woods fog never comes into this village, right? How thick is it outside the village walls? Also, if this village used to be a city, does that mean there's still a road back inland? The fog isn't too thick as long as you don't go deep into the woods, but that won't stop you from getting lost. And the road back inland is completely overgrown now, so it's all but impossible to find. I see. Then I guess we'll really need to put our minds to it if we ever want to leave these woods. Huh? You want to leave, Mash? Huh? Oh no, not at all. I was just curious. You don't want to leave either, right, Lysander? I mean, you came to the Nameless Woods of your own volition, so... not sure. I still have no idea what's going on. I see. That makes sense to me. I had a feeling you three were a little different from the other Fae who come here. I was even wondering if maybe you actually ended up lost in here by mistake somehow. Well, if there's anything you ever need, please let me know. I'm not much good for anything besides showing fairies around, but I promise I'll help however I can, as long as it doesn't get me in trouble. Okay, I think we've got the lay of the land now. Now that it's just the three of us, shall we get to it, Lysander? Get to what? Oh, silly, you really are an incorrigible jokester, aren't you? What else could I possibly be talking about in a situation like this? What else could I possibly be talking about in a situation like this besides testing our skills? Now come on, let's head out into the forest for a bit and see how good we are. What kind of tactics we excel at. Magecraft is power, and as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, speaking of fog, it's been pretty hazy in my area today.
Yeah, I'm tempted to make a Persona 4 joke about it.
Well, I haven't seen anybody hanging dead from a telephone pole, so I think I'm good.
That's not the point, brother.
But you just said that a Persona 4 reference and he completed it, and now you're saying, no, that's not the point.
Hey, Carousel.
I don't care. My point was that if I see him summoning things like Mothman or Mara, I'm going to just eat my laptop.
Son.
Well, in this game, I missed out on summoning Mara, so... But who knows, I might be lucky in summoning Mothman.
I never finished Legend. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting Legend this then. That's funny.
Hear me now? Is this thing working? Hello? Hey, Carousel.
Testing.
Let me see.
Okay, why
Actually, yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog, in case you need new break music. Hey, Silver?
Yeah?
When you get the chance, check Sonic the Hedgehog channel in your server.
Ah, okay. Karizel says, "Oh good, now where was I? Yes, Silver Shinobi, your time has come, and your little Kunoichi girlfriends too. Mwahahaha."
Who wants to tell him?
Yeah?
I've got a lot of them. More girlfriends than Lou Bega.
Ping my phone. But only one is the true girlfriend here.
Yeah.
やります。もちろんやります。
I got a girl in Paris, I got a girl in Rome, I even got a girl in the Vatican Dome.
突破します。ここまでやれば。
You have as many waifus as you want, but there's only one of me.
Indeed. Wait, what did I miss apart from every bullet in my magazine?
So Karizel just
And it may
walked
be
off
the
the set of A New
best,
Hope.
best that there's only one of me, because I don't think the world can handle multiple forests.
I was gonna make a joke
I'm
about
very-
that, but I couldn't think of the way to word it.
I'm very glad you didn't.
You've probably already heard that kind of joke before.
Oh, most certainly. I've heard many jokes in my life.
何のために負けないぞ。
Enough to where you can just leave it alone.
Have you heard my life best joke? Oh, come on, Karizel.
Wow, Gary, you are loved. Don't you even
今回はうまくいきました。
I'm sorry I was so useless. No, not at all. I feel just terrible about this. That you have basically no fighting ability must mean you come from a high social standing that you don't need to do your own fighting, so... Oh my gosh, are you the son of one of the clan chiefs, Lysander? And here I've been treating you just like anyone else. I'm so sorry, you must think I have no manners at all. Can we please just forget this happened? I promise I'll do better starting tomorrow. No, really, I'm the one who owes you an apology. Please, don't worry about it, Lysander. If anything, I'm more convinced than ever. I can't remember why, but I now know for sure that this is what you're meant to do. I may have been so intimidated by the fairy's sheer physical capabilities last night that I didn't act appropriately, but that won't happen again. I see now that you have the makings of a great leader, like a winning football coach. I even get the sense that as long as you're here to guide us, everything will somehow work out in the end. Wow. Thanks, Isolde best in class. Please, just call me Tristram. That's right, we're outcasts. A bunch of losers who couldn't even pay the annual existence tax to keep us in the Queen's reign. It was just a matter of time until we decided to come into these woods and forget everything we ever wanted to accomplish. But don't worry, there's no need to be afraid. We may have escaped from the city, but we're all still in the same boat. Soon the calamity will bring everything to an end and only a few will survive. So we may as well live the rest of our days here in peace. We, all of us from 6 different clans, live for festivities. We're scared of the Queen, we're scared of the Moors, and most of all, we're scared of ourselves. Oof, I couldn't eat another bite. What a lovely song. A simple tempo, to be sure, but there's something strangely invigorating about it. I would think it was improvised if they didn't seem so familiar with it. Well, of course they are. These kinds of festivals are where everyone come together are what all the Fae live for. It's the only time the Wind and Earth clans can set aside their differences. Well, as long as they don't drink too much, anyway. There are some fairies who really do get drunk on the atmosphere, I guess.
What, had enough already, Lysander? No need to hold back. You only just got here. Or was your journey here even harder than we thought? Those marks on your right hand are unusual, but they're still command spells, right? And 3 of them, no less. Damn, you poor thing. Well, don't worry. You can forget all about that now. No one here's gonna force you to do anything. You did good, hanging in there until now. Especially for one as twiggy as you are.
Am I crying? But why?
Come on, you don't gotta get weepy on me. Oh, it's okay. Just take as much time to rest as you need. When you get bored, you can help us out with the village stuff.
What a kind fairy. Although, command spells. I feel like I'm this close to remembering something, but I can't quite get there. Ugh, it's so frustrating.
Okay, everyone, settle down, please. That's all for tonight. I can definitely tell what time it is because I'm not drunk. Nope, definitely no drunkenness here.
Now go on, it's time to get back to our tents before the beasts come out. Don't blame me if you end up getting eaten alive. Marm, Thanya, Dumbleton. We Wind Fae can make it back quicker than anyone. The responsibility of keeping order falls to us, the most beautiful clan of all. I see Haloporomia is just as much of an ash drunk as he is sober.
Alright. Let's get back home so we can be ready for tomorrow's feast. Later, Lysander. Oh, I'll have to show you around our athletic field tomorrow. There's nothing more fun than a good ball game.
Uh-huh. I guess that's all for today's welcome party then. Though it sounds like it'll pick back up tomorrow.
Indeed. Now that I understand we've truly been welcomed with open arms, I'm enjoying myself quite a lot.
Even though you still haven't relaxed your grip on that, bow?
Yes, well, it seems old habits do die hard. Apparently, I used to keep my fingers on my bowstrings even when I was asleep.
I swear, between keeping my ears peeled and reading the Wind 24/7, I guess I must have really loved training.
Oh well. I'm sure any habit can be broken eventually. Especially since we shouldn't have to fight here. Now come on, Lysander, Mash. We should head back to our own tent. Hey, you! Make sure you clean this place thoroughly. We're doing this again tomorrow, remember?
Yes, sir. Do you want me to clean up after everyone, right?
Of course I do, idiot. What else would I have meant? Can't you do anything on your own?
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I promise I'll do my best.
Hold on. Was that?
Never mind that, Lysander. Let's just head back to our tent. We're still outsiders here, after all. We should get a grasp on the situation before we go poking our noses in their business. You wouldn't want someone to barely know telling you how to live your life, right? Even if all the Fae who live here are peaceful, we're still not in a strong position. We've got nowhere to run if something goes wrong. So we need to be extra cautious here. You understand, right?
I guess you're right.
Great. We can ask about it tomorrow. I'm sure whatever seems off to you now will all make sense once we've talked to them about it. Alrighty, next one, more writers. Good morning, Lysander. Did you sleep well last night? I'm sorry. I just can't seem to put my heart into it. Lysander. Something about that name just doesn't sound right.
It's still a mess out here. What the hell were you doing, you damn good for nothing?
That came from the square. Shall we go see what's going on, Lysander?
Definitely. This is awful. We can't possibly put on another feast tonight. Why didn't you do anything? You hate Lysander or something?
Not at all. It's just... I forgot what I was supposed to do. The next thing I knew, it was morning. You were all yelling at me.
Looks like it happened to her again, Doga. Guess we're SOL. Ugh, forget it. I should have known better than to ask you in the first place. Just go. Get lost. Don't ever come back near the village. I don't want to see your stupid face again.
Really? Thank you so much for forgiving me. I hope you'll invite me to the next one, too.
Oh, hey, Lysander. Yesterday sure was a hoot, huh?
You had that fairy girl clean up everything by herself?
That fairy girl? And what was her name again? The hell should I know? Damn, what was it again? I think she told us when she first showed up. Pretty sure it was Ho or Fu or something stupid like that. Is that what it was? I guess she had a name at first, too. Oh well, once you start forgetting your own name even without the fog, you're done for. Don't bother about her, Lysander. You don't want to catch her nameless disease.
So she doesn't have a name?
Is that why you treat her like that? What do you mean? No fairy without a name's worth anything, right? It's not like anyone'd miss him if they were gone. Yeah, she doesn't even have a place here. Her tent's outside the village. Yep, our territory just doesn't have room to spare for her. But I will say I'm impressed she's still alive. She might get more banged up every day, but she's still got all her arms and legs. Who knows? Maybe she used to be some kind of big shot. Not that it's doing her much good now. Guess not even the beasts of the forest got any interest in nameless meat.
Oof.
Anyway, that's enough about her. Come on, Lysander. I told you we were going to play football at noon today, right? See you at the athletic field. What would you like to do now that they've left for the athletic field, Lysander?
Do you know anything about nameless fairies, Mash? I do. As the name suggests, they're fairies who have lost their names. While we lost our memories in the nameless woods, sometimes fairies lose their names all on their own. In general, fairies don't age or die like humans or animals. But we are born with a purpose, something we can lose ourselves in. Fairies who lose that purpose lose their names and then grow steadily weaker until they die. That's what happened to that girl. It must have been quite some time since she lost her name. So is it true she really doesn't have a home here? I'm sure it is. Fairies tend to shun fairies who have lost their names. Honestly, the fact that she's even allowed inside this village speaks volumes about these fairies' generosity. I know what you're thinking, Lysander, but we can't. If we invite her to stay in our tent, it'll really upset the fairies in this village. The best we can do is visit her home and get rid of anything that might be dangerous. We may not be able to invite her into the village where it's safe, but I'd be happy to at least make her home just as safe as the village.
I knew you'd come through, Mash.
Huh? Why are you holding my hand?
Just gonna screenshot that.
You're shaking my hand to express your gratitude and faith in me, huh? That's a new one on me. But there's something really nice about it. I think I like this custom too, Lysander.
She's already under attack! There, I've driven the beasts back a bit and opened up some space for the girl. I swear on my bewitched bow that I won't let them take another step toward her.
Thank you, Tristram. I'll take it from here. Hey, you leave her alone right now. I'm eating chips, so I'm so glad I was muted this whole time. Oh, man. Now I kind of want some chips.
始めましょう。悲しみの歌。
I had my tater tots.
今のうちに準備。
お手を拝借。
And then remove debuff. Uh...
ほう、はい、よろしい。痛みを歌い、嘆きを奏でる。フェイルは、これが私のやつ。 吠えても無駄です。苦痛が嫌ならおとなしくなさい。
And that's a lot of crit stars. Okay, yep.
Yarimasu.
はい。
負けないぞ。えい。
吠えても無駄です。
ここでまっすぐ。
Alrighty. Boop, boop,
望
boop.
まれることを望まれたように。
痛みを歌い、嘆きを奏でる。フェイルは、これが私のやつ。
あれはいつか見た終わりの星。多くの言葉、わずかなきらめき。どれほど遠く汚れても私は星を探すのです。さあ、幕を開けてアラウンドカリバーン。ありがとうございます。皆さんのおかげです。
Alright. Man. Cruel though it may be, I made sure to aim for spots that would be extra painful. Hopefully, this will teach the other beasts that this part of the forest is dangerous. I agree. That seems like the best way to go. At any rate, that was amazing shooting, Tristram. Are you sure you don't remember being a soldier? Or maybe a hunter? Either way, the king you used to serve must have been proud to have you. Yes, well, I certainly hope so. That's weird. I can't sense any magical energy when he plucks his harp. Does that mean he's from the Wind Clan? But then he doesn't seem to have enough magical energy for that. Are you okay? Huh? What's going on? Did you do that for me? Yes, we did. Lysander insisted on checking up on you. Are you alright? Did those beasts hurt you before we got here? Oh no, I'm fine. I'm used to this sort of thing. So, is there something more I could do for you? I already showed you around the village yesterday. Oh man, I'm so stupid. I should have thought of something before coming here. God damn it, Carrie Zool!
What did Mary say?
He triggered the JoJo yes alert.
God damn it.
I should have thought of something before coming here. We wanted to thank you for all your help yesterday. You were so kind to us that we thought the least we could do was make your home safe from beasts. That's so nice of you. It makes me so happy. I guess this means I really was useful then. I'm so happy to hear that. It's been so long since I was useful. Oh, I know. I'll bless you with good fortune in return for, Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot how to cast blessings. And I don't have a tent, so there's nothing I can give you in return. That's okay. I don't need anything else. Really? Huh. Did I already give you some of the flowers I picked this morning and just forget I did? Lysander, Tristram, why don't you go back to the village without me? I'm going to put a bounded field to ward off the other beasts, but it's going to take some time. Oh? Well then I'll stay here until you're done too. Those beasts could come back at any time, so Lysander and I can protect you while you put up the bounded field. No, that's okay. I can handle those beasts alone if it comes to that. I see. Well, if you're sure. Is that alright with you, Lysander? Okay, if you say so, Mash. Alright. I'll see you two later then. Have fun with the other fairies. There. All done. You won't have to worry about beasts coming for you here anymore. Well, at least for a few weeks anyway. It's only magecraft, not sacrament, so it won't last forever. But at least for those few weeks you'll be able to rest easy knowing you're safe. Magecraft? The mysterious power the Queen uses. I didn't know you could use it too, Mash. Is using magecraft the hot new thing in the outside world now? I don't know about that. I mean, half my magecraft is stuff I kind of taught myself. Besides, that stuff's kind of why I ran away in the first place. I mean, me, save Britain with magecraft like this? That's just not possible. Mash? I'm so sorry if I asked something I shouldn't have. Oh, don't be. That was just a bad habit of mine. You're not the reason I was feeling sad just now. Do me a favor and just forget about it, please. More importantly, I think it might be better if you moved away from that village. It's not the other fairies' fault necessarily, you're just not a good fit for it. What about Salisbury? No, wait, they're very hostile to wind fairies with damaged wings there. How about Norwich? They say fairies and humans live side by side there. And who knows, if you find a human who's a good fit for you, maybe you'll even find a new purpose, too. Thank you, but I'd rather stay here. Even if I did find a new purpose, I still wouldn't have a name. I think I must be exhausted. Nothing ever goes right for me, no matter what I do, or what help I receive. I must have been so despondent with myself that I even forgot the most important thing of all. My name. So, I don't need to go anywhere. Here, nobody will be angry at my old self. Here, nobody will blame me for being a terrible fairy who wasted her life unable to fulfill her purpose. But I'm really sad. Not because the other fairies in the village hate me, but because I can't remember my purpose anymore, or my name. I see. I guess not having a name really is a terrible thing. In that case, what about this? I just came up with the idea now, but... Thank you, Mash. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. Oh, come on, now you're just being nice. I see. Then I'm happy you're happy. Still, don't forget, this is our little secret. If the villagers find out, we'll both get in trouble. I'm sure they'd say something like even a village of outcasts has rules. Or Cornwall doesn't need any weird, made-up customs. That's true. You might not know by looking at him, but Halobaromia actually used to be an aide to Lady Aurora. Even now, he still admires the elegant fairy way of life. I really love that about him. I feel the same way. He might act high and mighty, but I could tell right away he really cares about the village. Oh gosh, I didn't realize we'd been talking for so long. I'd better get back to the village. I'll come again tomorrow, okay? In the meantime, enjoy your peaceful night's sleep. I will. Bye-bye, Mesh. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Huh? Ow! What just happened? Why does my right eye hurt so much? Where's a puddle I can use for a mirror? There. Now, what's going on with my eye? Ah! I see. So I've turned dark. I guess I'm done for now. And just when something finally worked out for me, too. That doesn't sound good. Ugh. Morning. Good morning. Maybe a shame to not have a banquet, but there is an upside. You got to bed earlier. So, what would you like to do today? If you don't have anything particular in mind, I'd like to go outside the village again, myself. I'm pretty hungry since we didn't have a banquet last night, so... Huh? You're hungry?
Oh, good morning, Lysander. Sorry we couldn't give you the welcome you deserved last night. Fortunately, we should be able to make up for it tonight, so I do hope you're looking forward to it. Something wrong? You don't seem like yourself. It's okay, I just really need to eat something. Is there any food I could have? Huh? You're hungry because you didn't have anything to eat? Don't be ridiculous. Needing to eat? It's not like you're human or some... Wait. You're serious? You know, now that you mention it... Oh my, I can't believe it. I never thought such a thing could be possible. Alabaromia? Everyone, I have big news. Lysander is human. We have an unregistered human with us. Huh? Come on, it's too early for this nonsense. There's no way a human would be here of all. I'm not joking. Take a closer look. It's not that his wings were torn off. He never had them to begin with. Hurry, come quick. We can't let him get out to the woods. Oh my goodness, I feel terrible about this. If only I'd realized it sooner. Now I'm even more sorry we didn't give you the kind of welcome you deserve, Lysander. But don't worry, we're going to make up for that right now with a really, really fun welcome party. What a wonderful day this is. Let me see. Oh wow, you're right. Lysander really is human.
A human! A human! Hooray! No wonder being around him made us all so happy.
This is great. I'll never have to worry about turning into Morris.
Why do I get the sense I'm in trouble? Oh no, I almost forgot. Be careful, Lysander. If you tell them you're hungry... Ah, too late!
Well,
Are you human too? You are, aren't you? You don't have wings or command spells.
it's
How about-
fine, though. It's fine. I got BJ to answer the question.
How about the guy with the harp? Is he human? No, wait, he's a fairy. That's right, he didn't need anything. But who cares? Just put him with the others. It's easier that way. Here, Lysander, Mash, and Tristram. Please, let me show you to the best spot in town. From now on, you'll be staying at a tent in the town square, right in the middle of the village. There's so much to do, I don't know where to begin. Welp. It's been half a day since we were packed into this tent without so much as a word of explanation.
The current part's active until the new one is, like, mailed out.
Give me a second. How's the food they've been bringing you every hour, Lysander? It's great, but there's too much of it. Still, at least they're being nice to us? We're not allowed to go out, and there are fairies guarding outside the tent in shifts. This isn't a welcome party. We're prisoners. Do you know why this happened to us, Mash? Because Lysander is human. Thinking about it now, I was a little surprised myself to see how much you enjoyed that fruit. I should have realized it then, but I haven't seen many humans either. Are you human too, Mesh? I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm a fairy, but I also feel like I've been called human-like at one point or another. But never mind that now. Right now, we need to focus on the situation at hand. You might think they're giving Lysander a warm reception now, but it's only going to heat up as time goes on. Really? Even more than this? Yes, really. You see, humans are very important sources of sustenance for fairies. Just having a human nearby makes them happier, almost like a mental balm. But these days, the human population is carefully managed by the Queen, leaving lower-class fairies without any humans for themselves. In fact, the fairies of this village wound up here because they didn't have humans. So, if nothing else, I'm sure they'll take good care of you, Lysander. But... I see. Yay! Humans! Humans in the village! And not defective ones from the rebel army or ones made for the Queen. Real, high-quality humans. This is so great. We'll have to keep them safe so they don't get hurt. We'll have to figure out what they eat, too. They say you can't just give them nuts and fruit. Humans like meat, right? So we'll have to go hunt some meat in the woods. Man, I'm so jealous of the guards. Can't wait until it's my turn. I just want to be near them. I want to make them laugh, make them uncomfortable, and make them cry. I want to comb their hair, pull off their fingers, skin them alive. Too bad there's only 2 of them. No fair that Halabaromia gets to decide who goes first. We'll never get a piece of them that way. I just know I'm gonna miss out. Yeah, we should just chop them to pieces and share with everyone. I'll take the left eye, you can have the right. Yeah, I'll take the ring finger, you take the middle one. Hey, that way everyone can each get a piece. Hey, what do you guys think you're doing? It's not your turn yet. Get back to your tents. And don't try anything with Lysander. You should have seen him on the athletic field. He used his head to score a goal. His head! I've never seen anyone play football like that. He's a really entertaining lad. As long as he's around, we're gonna have more fun than we've ever... You talk too much, Doga. We don't need talkers. Carriesel, no!
What?
He used the
Gary!
he used the Mario death sound effect now.
Yo!
We can't help ourselves.
I know Luigi. I know that's Luigi, but I can't do I can't do the Mario death sound.
Oh
Oh no!
We can't help ourselves. There's only 2 of them. Only 2 of them. Let's chop them up and share them with everyone. Let's chop them up and share them with everyone. But we're the only ones who are gonna get a share. The Fang clan's gonna keep them all to ourselves. The Earth and Wind clans talk too much too. Let's get them before they get us.
Carrie, can you blame me?
Is that fighting?
I deal with MSO on a daily basis. I don't think you can blame me for, like, whenever I hear Remy go like, oh no, and then say a name, and I automatically assume they did something bad.
I'm not sure exactly why, but the fairies seem to be fighting amongst themselves now. I suspect it has something to do with different clans wanting to keep you all to themselves. The why isn't important now, though. You're obviously not safe here. We need to leave right away. But where would we go? Let's head inland. Once we get through this village, we can make our way to the hilly area. From there, there's a highway. Once we get there, we can think about where to go next. But first, yes, we do need to do something about the guards outside. Unfortunately, I doubt you and I alone will be any match for them. Remember, these fairies are all very powerful. There's no way a human could... Oh? Oh, good. You're all still okay. Thank goodness. I noticed something was off in the village this morning, so I've been keeping an eye on things from afar. It's awful out there. First everyone was yelling at each other, and now they've started fighting. Romeo was doing his best to calm everyone down, but I don't think it worked.
Hey, keep an eye on things near the tent. Don't let anyone near it. I know we killed all the Wind Clan bastards, but there's still some fangs out there. Ain't no way we're letting those veggie lovers take the humans away from us. We gotta divide them both up evenly among the Earth Clan. Enfin.
It's no use, Lysander. They're not the fairies you knew anymore. They're being driven wild by their bloodlust. Come with me. I can get you out through the weak stitching in the cloth where I snuck in. You do want to get out to the woods, right? Then please, trust me. I know a way inland. Now come on, hurry.
Those are Earth Clan fairies? They look nothing like they used to. Ah, how this saddens me. What do I see now but the devil?
Stop that, Tristram! You can't play your harp now, they'll hear us.
Hey, did you just hear something? Maybe one of the Wind Clan bastards survived. Kesley, Gam, go check it out. The rest of us will head to the tent. Crush their legs first. That'll keep them from running. Oh crap, we've got to get out of here, now!
I'm so sorry. My fingers moved before I realized what I was doing. Anyway, yes, we need to get out of the village. I'll bring up the rear. This way, everyone. Please, follow me. Yes, this is it. Once you cross those 3 hills, you'll be far enough inland. Are you all okay? I know we've been running non-stop.
I'm okay. Well, I'm managing.
Indeed. There were 2 fairies after us, but it seems we lost them after we crossed that first hill. They must have gotten lost in the fog. I guess all that time you spent living outside in the forest must have paid off. Thank you for showing us the way. You've been a huge help. But are you sure about this? Now that you've helped us escape, doesn't that mean you could never go back to that village? Yes, it does. But please don't worry about that, Mesh. My home is safe now, thanks to you. Now please, don't worry about me. You need to leave the forest as soon as possible. Go, quickly, before the villagers find you. I have to put more distance between you and them.
What's that mark on your face?
What mark? Ah, I can smell the wind now. It smells like just like good old Salisbury Earth. Soon we'll be out of the woods. Not much longer. Beautiful Britain, you haven't changed a bit. You're just as I remember from when I had a name. Almost there. Just a little more.
I see a slope up ahead. That must be the last hill.
Once we cross it, we'll be out of these woods. Thank you. We could never have made it this far without... What's wrong? Ah! Oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you hurt? Why don't we take a little... Ah! Shut up! Just shut up! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts so damn much! It's been hurting for all these hundreds of years I've spent alone. They kept forcing me to do things I couldn't do. Hundreds of years of endless frustration. Nobody ever helped me before. Nobody ever even noticed me before. So why did you have to be kind to me now when it's already too late? Idiots! You're idiots! Have you really not figured it out yet? I tricked you! The only reason I brought you out here is so I could keep you all to myself. Why else would I be doing this? Why did I... Ah!
Oh. Oh.
Get ready, Tristram, Lysander. She's not a fairy anymore. She's Moors now. Just a thing that can no longer speak or listen. It's a dark sludge that fouls the world just by existing. It is Britain's curse, and it is death to fairies.
Oh, jeez.
That kind of reminds me of one of the first boss fights you get in Shin Megami Tensei 4, where your best friend ends up turning into a demon.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and debuff, remove that NP seal. Getting hit with curse status, that's not good. Okay.
希望の地楽園の後誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。運命は誰のために。アラウンドカリバーン。
Okay, we removed the debuffs, so that should be good.
そこだ。
もちろんやります。
吠えても無駄です。
ここでまっすぐ。
Alright, let's see.
狂い酒。
もちろん。
我がフェイルノート。痛みの音、嘆きの曲。その肉を刻むは我が悲しみと知る。フェイルノート。さ
ここで。
Ooh, it's got a big attack winding up.
まだだ。
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
that's not a fight you are meant to win.
No,
よろしい。はい。
I think I just had rotten luck because if it's a fight that I wasn't meant to win, then it would have ended a while ago.
と。
Yeah, enough. Okay.
おとなしくなさい。首が落ちます。
I think it
I
was
can't
just.
wait till we play.
What's up?
Sorry.
まだだ。
As I said, speaking of which, I can't wait till we play Final Fantasy 9 so we can have, what was it, like
さようなら。
5 separate boss fights you're not meant to win.
Yeah, in this case, I think it was just rotten luck with the numbers.
'Cause I remember in 9, like, there's, Armadillo-Han. There's, I believe, the first boss fight was Transfusa, where he just decimates you. I think there's 2 fights with him.
それはいつか来る兆しの星。
There's
希望の地。
there's the first 2 fights against
誰に呼
Beatrix.
ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょ
Oh.
う。運命は誰のために。アラウンドカリ
Is
バー
there one more? There's gotta be one more, right? I feel like there's one more, but I can't place my finger on it.
我が音の前で万物は劣化。
Alright, this should be the last hit. Yep, overkill.
フェイルノート。それはただのものでしかない。では、鎮魂の曲を。
In your casual playthrough of Final Fantasy 12, you've already run into 2 separate unbeatable boss fights.
Which ones were those?
Begamnon and... Actually, was it just the first fight against Begamnon? Yeah, I think it was actually only the first fight against Begamnon so far.
I think we got her, but... Be careful, Lysander. She's not done yet. But she's not trying to attack anymore. Is she trying to tell us something? Pardon me. I
I hope you don't mind. I didn't want to make you three put her out of her misery. As I know the Morse well, I thought I should be the one to do what was necessary. That rapier strike came from behind us like the wind. And there's something familiar about them. Sorry about that. You're free now. May you find peace in your next life. No way! You're... Hey there, Silver Shinobi. Nice to meet you. Sorry I took so long to get here. Then again, I guess that's pretty confusing too, judging from the look on your face. A king doesn't typically introduce himself, but none of my attendants are here, so I suppose I don't have a choice. I am Oberon, a heroic spirit summoned here by humanity. I'm the one and only servant in all this Lost Belt who's destined to help you. Most people know me as Oberon the Fairy King. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? It's the Mothman. I'm worried I'm being watched because I have "Is it illegal to fake my death" on my search history. There are a lot of things that you do research on as an author or artist that get you put on an FBI watch list. Things like, how much potassium chlorate do I need to make a bomb?
Why did you have that in your search history?
I don't, actually, but I'm just using an example. Anyway, moving on with the story. We're just gonna not elaborate, move on with the story. That's right. My name's Silver Shinobi. And yours is... Indeed, you are Silver Shinobi, the Master of Chaldea. And I am Tristan, Knight of the Bewitched Bow and the Child of Sadness. At last, I finally remember everything. As for you, Mash, your name's not really Mash. Oberon? Not Merlin? Merlin? Oh, I'm sorry, you're just, not exactly who I was expecting. But you look so much like someone I was thinking about that it threw me off for a moment. At any rate, I remember who I am now. My name is Castor. Artoria Castor. Oh, but that's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? Really, Castor was just my name in the village I'm from, so please, call me Artoria. I'm relieved to see you got your names back. Now, we'd better hurry or you'll get caught in that fog again. Go on, get going. See those trees over there? That's your goal. First, you should all see what Britain is really like. After that, we'll have plenty to talk about. That's true, we need to get out of these woods. I agree. Let's go, Silver Shinobi. It's time you saw the Twilight Island, home of so many fairies. The utopia of wind, earth, and life, blessed by song and rain. The Isle of Britain. Oh, wow. Oh, that looks gorgeous. And we got a lot of stuff for that. A Saint's Quartz, a small bell of absolution, 3 pure prisms, and 3 Hellfire of Wisdoms. And the map's no longer all clouded up. Let's see, fragment over 1.
Meanwhile, several days after she got separated from Silver Shinobi, the girl managed to make it out of the Nameless Woods on her own, ahead of the others. Was it the difference in her innate servant abilities? Simply a stroke of good luck? Neither, in fact. She was simply swept along by a Morse current and unceremoniously sped out elsewhere. The outcome speaks for itself. Deprived of her strength, her equipment in pieces, she could only collapse by the highway. This is bad, very, very bad, if she stays here too long.
See, what I tell ya? I knew there'd be one or two around this time of year. Check it out, Premium Wind Fairy. This'll keep us fed the whole winter.
She'll be easy pickings for the slave hunters who prey on fairies who wander out of the woods.
Oi, get a collar on her before she wakes up. I don't know who she is, but it won't matter once we sell her. We'll make a bundle and get a nice warm bed and someone to, keep her company. Now that's what I call a win-win. Ah, a wolf! There's a wolf here!
But fortunately, fate had other plans for her. No wonder she's my favorite. That fluffy guy next to her is Sage Grim, the White Fang. Those thugs won't get near her. Not with him around.
Ah, crap, she's awake. And she looks really strong, too. We're dead.
Who are you? No, wait. Why was I collapsed on the ground? Whew. She doesn't remember anything.
Hey there, young lady. We're just, you know, a group of kindly caretakers. It's our job to help any fairies who collapse on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's it. We're here to help you. Now go on, get in our cart. It's the latest model from Norwich, and it's way better than walking.
One of us pulls while the other two smile. That way two can relax and only one has to work. But hey, don't worry, you're a valued guest. We'd never make you pull the cart.
Now, what were we gonna call you? Say, what do you think of Anish, brothers? Doesn't that seem like a great name for her? Huh? You mean we not going with Urchin like usual? Well, I guess a little change of pace wouldn't hurt. Sound good to you, Anish? Now go on, try to stand up. Here, hold on to me if you need. Besides, you don't want to be laying on the ground too long, or the giant odd goggy caterpillars will eat you right up. Okay. Thank you.
Whoa, what's with all that metal? She's got an iron shield, iron armor, and...
What's this, a canister? Damn, you think she's one of the Queen's Knights, seeing how she's got all these weapons? You guys sure this is a good idea? What if the Queen kills us? You're still a big scaredy cat, aren't you, Wag? Don't worry about it. Even if she is one of the Queen's Knights, who cares? Doesn't matter if she can't remember anything. Yeah, what's gonna happen when she doesn't even know her own name? And if she doesn't have a place to call home, what's wrong with taking her to a new one? As our merchandise, of course. The three fairies exchange a knowing look and cackle. And so she and all her things wound up on the cart with not a clue as to who she is. The cart begins heading north towards Gloucester, beginning another separate journey. But, all that aside... Hey, that wolf's still following us? What do we do, brothers? You really don't want to mess with his leg. They say if you kill one, you'll become a Morse. Guess we'll just have to let him tag along too. Maybe we can even sell him off along with the girl. Don't worry, these fairies won't be having much luck as long as her intimidating furry friend is around. Alright, Salisbury. Hell of an introduction to this Lost Belt. beautiful, isn't it? This is the center of the British Lost Belt. See that super ominous castle-looking thing over there? That's Camelot. These days, Britain's divided into North and South region, and Camelot sits between them. Most people live here in the southern central area. The 4 main cities in this region are Salisbury, the great cathedral, Norwich, the nearest port town, Gloucester, the city of fashion, and Oxford, the great dining hall. Each city is run by the head of a fairy clan. Sorry to interrupt, but what about our other 2 companions? Huh? I see. So there were others from Chaldea with you. I'm very sorry, but you were the only one I managed to find. And as you can see, it's just me right now, so tracking you down was the best I could do. But that leads nicely to my next point. Can you tell me what this mash of yours looked like? As long as I know what she looks like, I can have Blanca look for her. She looks like an eggplant. Like, that's it. That's the only description he gets.
Hair like an eggplant. Eggplants don't have hair. Did I fucking stutter?
Blanca? Who's that? Didn't you just say you were alone? Oh, right. Here, let me introduce you. It's a friend! Pretty cute, right? I talk with her a lot. I guess you could call her my friend. Oh, look at the fluffy baby. Anyway, she's very neat, very smart, and above all, she's a hard worker. If anyone can track down MASH, she can. Okay, now that that's settled, how about we start by sharing what we all know with one another? You tell me your story, I'll tell you mine. And you know the rest. I see. So you've conquered 5 Lost Belts thus far. And while you weren't originally planning to come to Britain, you, Mash, Leonardo, and Tristan wound up coming here to investigate this collapse. But then after the 4 of you landed here, you got separated in the Nameless Woods. That's unfortunate. No, I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful. I had no idea you weren't the only one lost. If I'd only been more attentive back then, maybe I could have tracked down Mash and Leonardo as well. But I was so excited about finding you that I forgot all about everything else. It's okay. That fog was so thick, it's a miracle you found anyone. For the time being, there's one thing we can and should check. Mash is your contracted servant, right? Then you should have a magical energy connection with her. If it's still active, then we'll at least know she's alive, even if we don't yet know where she is. How about it? Can you check on that for us? Connection's still active. Great. Then all we have to do now is find her. And Leonardo's a servant too, right? Then I'm sure she's still alive and kicking too. Fortunately, the fairies here can't tell the difference between their fellow fae folk and servants. So as long as they're not human, they shouldn't be in too much danger. So let's just stay calm and trust them to handle themselves. Next, Artoria. Is there something you'd like to say to me? No. Not right now, anyway. Honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything I just heard about Chaldea, proper human history, the Lost Belts, and so on. Although, getting back to servants? Heroic spirits? Is that like a human turning into a fairy after they die? And you said both you and Tristan, are servants yourselves? That's right. If you want to know more about heroic spirits and servants, I'm sure Silver Shinobi there will be happy to fill you in on the way. Between a resident of this Lost Belt like you, and Master from proper human history who's a guest in this world, you two should be able to catch each other up on almost everything. On the way, you said? Does this mean you have a destination in mind, Oberon? I do indeed. When you're trying to track someone down, a big city's your best bet. Besides, you and Silver Shinobi both need to get used to the way things work here in Fairy Britain. So our next stop is Salisbury, the biggest city in the south. There we'll find food, clothing, shelter, everything we need, really. It's just about a full day's walk from here. I know you've been up all night, but do you think you can make the trek? Well, we don't have time to sit around and rest. Now, let's not be hasty. I know how you must feel, but like I said, now's the time to take it easy. Remember, Britain's a big place. If you keep pushing yourself so hard, you'll burn out long before we find Mash. Don't worry, you can tell she's okay because you're her master, right? Well, my own intuition is telling me she's perfectly safe. And I'm the Fairy King, so that really means something. So let's start with Salisbury and figure out the rest from there. Salisbury, huh? What should I do? Might be kind of dangerous to go back now. But I also can't leave Silver Shinobi to fend for himself. Plus, I don't care what this Oberon guy says. He really seems a lot like Merlin. Would it be okay if I came along too, Silver Shinobi? I know I mistakenly went by Mash's name for a while there. But I want to know more about you and about, oh, right, proper human history? Oh, sorry, I just assumed you'd be coming with us. Right, of course not. Oh gosh, what am I even saying? Of course you wouldn't want a country bumpkin like me taking Huh? You're shaking my hand again? Does that mean it's okay? Of course. Glad to have you with us, Artoria. Aww, she happy. Ah, yes, now that's a lovely friendship. I was definitely on pins and needles back in Cornwall, but it seems not interfering was the right choice after all. In theatrical terms, I believe this is the part where we say, now that the actors are in place, the real story can begin. Galdea alone won't be enough. The Child of Prophecy alone won't get there in time. So we'll need both to defeat the mighty Morgan. Okay. Now I can actually summon the other servants. Yay. Let's get Hokusai. And let's get our anti-berserker party out. Ah, the prophecy was true. That girl is our star of hope. She will be our salvation. She will be our path to forgiveness. She's our savior who drifted to our shores with a ship full of treasure. She's the one who will hear the voice of paradise and chant the promised name. Ah, dear Artoria, may you grow to the age of 16, healthy and strong. May the Queen's soldiers never find you. One day you'll go on a journey to ring the 6 bells and save all of Britain. A journey to welcome our true king. Gloucester, Salisbury, Oxford, Norwich, Orkney. We may not know where the 6th bell is, but we are confident you'll find it. The staff of selection has chosen you. You are Fairy Britain's only hope. Now go on. Hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have complete faith in you.
The village is done for. The executioner squads are here. Hold your head high. Grip your staff tight. Now is the time to begin your journey, Artoria. Remember, no matter what anyone says, you are unquestionably the Child of Prophecy. You're the spitting image of her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry I'm so weak. I'm sorry I can't live up to your expectations. I'll do my best. I promise. As much as I can. Smack, smack. Are you sleeping already, Artoria? Uh-huh. Oh no, was I asleep? I just remember Tristan playing his harp and then... How this saddens me. I was merely trying to soothe your exhaustion. But I cannot help but notice you don't seem to care for my music, my liege... Maid Artoria. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to hearing music. But it really did help me fall asleep peacefully. I'd love it if you played again when it's bedtime. Ouch. You wound me, Maid Artoria. No bard wants to be told his music puts people to sleep. Hey, you can't blame her. We've been walking non-stop nearly all day. We're all exhausted. That's why we're camping out here tonight before making our way to Salisbury tomorrow morning. Artoria, you can put up a bounded field to keep wild animals away, right? I hate to ask since I know you're sleepy, but would you mind? Oh, yes, of course. Okay, I'll be back soon. Now then. I know we told Artoria that proper human history is like a parallel world to Britain, but of course that's not the whole truth, right? The truth is, proper human history is the rightful historical timeline, and it's fundamentally incompatible with this world of fairy Britain. As Chaldea, you have to erase the Lost Belts to ensure humanity's future. And now you're trying to come up with a way to tell Artoria this without hurting her too badly. I know it's wrong to hide that, but... No, I see. I suppose you have betrayed the people of 5 Lost Belts already. Damn. I usually pride myself on being an excellent conversationalist. But even I'm having trouble coming up with the right words to heal the wounds in your heart. So for now, the best I can do is offer some words of consolation. It's okay, Silver Shinobi. This Lost Belt won't fall by your hand. Remember, it's falling apart on its own. If anything, I'd say you're doing it a favor. Really? Yes, indeed. Human history simply could not ever prosper in this version of Britain. It's a flawed world that was always destined for destruction. History took a dreadfully wrong turn here. The only problem is that it's threatening to take proper human history down with it when it all goes to pot. That's why guys like us from proper human history have to do whatever we can to save it. And that means defeating the one who's been ruling it from on high for 2,000 years. High Queen Morgan. Hold on. Did you say Morgan? As in, that Morgan? Yep, that Morgan. The same one who proved to be King Arthur's ultimate Achilles heel in proper human history, even after he united all of Britain. The extraordinary witch who lured King Arthur into countless traps so she could take Camelot for herself. And the mother of Mordred, the treacherous knight, the child of King Arthur who proved to be his downfall. She's the one who ultimately destroyed Britain. And here, she's Fairy Britain's ruler, and she will bring it all to ruin. Let's see. I think you Chaldeans would probably refer to her as this Lost Belt's king. King Arthur's archenemy here in this Lost Belt. Anyway, based on everything you've told me, it sounds like Morgan's behind the outside world abnormality. So as long as you can defeat her, that should end the threat to proper human history. After that, you can just leave this place to its fate. Whether it all falls apart or pulls itself back together, you won't need to feel bad about it. Look, over there. What was it the Lost Belt needs to survive again? A tree of emptiness? Well, I'm guessing that world tree, the giant ash over there beyond the sea, is it. And as you can see, it's been dead for a long time, so this Lost Belt definitely hasn't got long left. Was it ever on fire at any point? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it was. Went up in flames not too long ago, then died out again just as quickly as it started. I wonder what that was all about anyway. Anyway, I think that's enough talk for tonight. Don't want to overdo the info dump. So, even if you don't remember anything else we talked about tonight, at least remember this. Defeat High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fairy Britain. Nice and simple, right? As for the rest, I'll tell you once we reach Salisbury.
Once you see a FAE city for yourself, I think you'll have a much better handle on what life in Britain is like. Whoops, sorry to interrupt, but we got monsters. Get ready to fight, Silver Shinobi. I'm so sorry! I accidentally skipped a couple steps when I was making the bounded field. And I ended up summoning a pack of wild birds by mistake. Could you help me out, please? I never thought the day would come when my liege would beg me for help. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting she's not the King Arthur I knew. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Even if she's not, I'm still glad to have her around. Me too. It's such an honor that it actually makes me feel sorry for the other Knights of the Round Table. Here they come. Be careful, Silver Shinobi. Britain's beasts are not to be trifled with. So I guess in Britain it's just Tuesday? Don't tell Clegg I said that.
What?
僕はね
I'm
No.
sorry, I missed it.
早いよ
Nothing, nothing.
I know, I'm legitimately curious because I missed what you said.
So, Oberon was saying something about don't underestimate Britain's beasts. And I said, so, what, it's just a regular Tuesday?
僕行かなきゃ
Alright, we do have a bunch of berserkers, so... Yeah, let's go ahead and buff the arts. Let's have this one go to sleep.
泳ぎましょう
Mass hysteria.
ひょんのしたり忙しいんだなあらよ 風
Okay.
の音
Alright, that's good. Carrie Zul says, do you think our FBI agents meet up over coffee to talk about us like we're their kids? I'd like to imagine that. That would be pretty funny.
あらよ
Hey, did you hear about this? Silver Shinobi, or whatever he's fucking called, decided to try to dial up something on his computer. He accidentally put in an actual phone number when trying to type.
本当にそうだね
Okay, what was the number? Just pulls out like a list of your searches.
何の音
I think he was...
I've always said this, but whoever spies on my searches has to be very bored. Because I keep searching up the same fucking things over and over again.
In my case, they're probably looking at my search history and be like, man, this guy's a freak.
ひょんのと
Oh, now I'm curious.
あらよ
I mean, just any guy's search history, you know?
Alright,
知ってたわ。忙しいんだな。スイング上手。スイングバイするよ。雷の音。では
Carrie's just
sorry,
like,
310.
Carrie's just like, my searches are, yeah.
トド様、お勤めだ。いいよ。トーンときたよ。オンそじりしたそうか。オン若知りへ一尾分そうか。万象見通す限定。北進より八個を擁護せし尊上の王よ。渾身の一筆を収め立てまつる。いざいざご見覧あれ。富岳36景。体の大きい。波浦すさび。
And that did a good number on the wave.
風の音。あらよ。
They're buffing their crit rates pretty high. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Thankfully, pale blue dot is
お
ready.
しまいに。そうだね。
ペールブルーダット。
僕は導く。
Boy has been deployed.
人の望み届けよう。すべて
デブライデブライ
星の空へ。
Deploy the boy.
たどり着く。ペイルブルードット。
レーブブレー。
And there we go.
そら、万事愛済みました。
The boy been deployed.
Some make sense, like the school schedules of Japan, how far is a light year, genetic makeups, mutation powers from shows and stuff, like because I write mostly fanfics. Then there's stuff, like the type of stuff involving nukes. Yeah. To be fair, there's a whole meme about the Demon Corps, so... Yay, we won! No, we trounced them! Ah, man, that feels good. This makes me happy. That was the first battle I've won handily since being summoned. True, we haven't had much luck with combat since we got here. Indeed. I may not be a match for fairies, but demonic beasts like these are no match for the Round Table. I see, so you're already strong enough to handle a murder of night crows without much trouble, huh? Very nice. That's even better than I was expecting.
My ankle.
You alright?
Yeah, my ankle cracked.
Tristan, your bow may not be particularly strong, but its range is exceptional. You're clearly well suited for battles against large groups. With you on our side, I bet we could win no matter how outnumbered we may be. And as for you, Artoria, you're much more of a wild card than you look. Is that strange tool of yours handmade? A rare weapon like that will be very effective against an opponent who's never seen it before, especially as a distraction. And above all, your summons were fascinating, Silver Shinobi. Temporarily summoning heroic spirits to aid in battle, huh? I had no idea it was such a flexible and powerful way to fight. Human magecraft doesn't tend to work very well against fairies, but summoning heroic spirits is definitely an exception. The only problem with it is how long you can last, given the incredible demands on your stamina, magical energy, and sheer luck. Plus, it seems like the longer the battle lasts, the more of a toll it takes on you. But as long as you're careful about that, you should be able to handle anyone, fairy or not. Wait a moment. Human magecraft? You can use magecraft, Silver Shinobi?
What was that squeak?
Somebody outside. It was probably just some kids.
You're probably your nephew or something.
No, my nephew's not here, but it's like we do have a bunch of neighborhood kids, so
Yeah.
let's see. Just barely thanks to my mystic code, but yep. Yeah, it's the kids outside. They're making some more noise. I'm surprised the microphone picked that up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I was just a little taken aback. You see, magecraft isn't really used much in Britain. Basically, fairies perform sacraments without any help from basic magecraft spells or mystic codes. So, magecraft is considered unnecessary at best, and, only practiced by weirdos at worst. In fact, to be totally blunt, if you tell people you use magecraft here, they tend to look at you all funny and ask why you'd go to all that trouble. I see. You do have a point. Fairies simply have no need of magecraft. And since this Britain is a land dominated by fairies, that would mean magecraft is effectively worthless here. So, why do you use it then, Autoria? Oh man. After everything I just said, you really went there, Silver Shinobi? No. It was an honest question, Artoria. You know he didn't mean anything by it, right? Anyway, you don't have to answer if you'd rather not. As for you, Silver Shinobi, I'd suggest you wait for a better time before bringing this up again. Anyway, I think we might have gotten distracted from our main purpose. Now that we've got this nice camp set up, we should use it to get a good night's rest. I'm sure there's more you'd like to know about Silver Shinobi, Artoria, but why don't we save that for tomorrow? Fortunately, there are none of the Queen's soldiers, no Moors, and no rebel army around here. And once we wake up in the morning, it's only another hour's walk to Salisbury, where we'll be able to have a much more in-depth conversation. After all, if you're going to have a fun discussion, you should save it for a nice and relaxing place, right? He does have a point. Alright. And that's the gist of this world's history up until 2017. Wow! So other worlds really do exist. England, Scotland, Ireland. And you said there are other countries beyond this isle too? Like, France? And Italy?
Oh my god. Oh my god, that just sounds like someone from the 1500s like, wait, there's more planet?
To be fair, this was during the days of Camelot, so... Well, supposedly during the days of Camelot.
I didn't know there was more planet! I thought it was just the one landmass!
I can't even imagine so many different countries and cultures and people. Sounds like you come from a really wonderful world. Britain without the fairies, huh? That sounds like a nice change of pace. Well, from where Silver Shinobi is sitting, I'd imagine he finds this Britain full of fairies to be quite the change of pace. I do have to correct you on one thing, though. It's not that there aren't any fairies at all in proper human history where Silver Shinobi comes from. While mystics have definitely faded since the AD era began, fairies are still around. Though, of course, there are far fewer of them, and they don't reveal themselves to humans much. Heck, I'm a fairy heroic spirit myself. Come to think of it, Oberon, aren't you from... A Midsummer Night's Dream, right? Written by William Shakespeare, England's greatest playwright. It may well be one of the most famous stories about fairies. It's basically about a love, square between humans. But two of the most important characters are Oberon, the king of the fairies, and his queen, Titania. In the story, Oberon wants Titania to give him one of her pages, so he hatches a plan involving a potion that will cause the drinker to fall in love with the first living thing they see upon awakening. But 2 humans ended up taking it by mistake, causing them to forget about the person they love and mistakenly believe they're fated to be with someone else. Well, without going into too much detail, it all wraps up nicely in the end. It's a sort of comedy of errors focused on love and miscommunication you see everywhere. But unfortunately for me, it became so popular that it kept being retold for generations. Thanks to that, the word fairy is now synonymous with mischievous Puck and narrow-minded King Oberon. So at least in one sense, I might be the most famous fairy in the world. If you've never read it before, you should give it a shot once you get back to Caltea. Doesn't paint the most flattering picture of me, unfortunately, but never mind that. And just to be clear, I swear I wasn't trying to make trouble, okay? I'm just a plot device, really. Only there to get the romantic hijinks rolling. So then, does that mean you're a fictional character, Oberon? Is it even possible for someone as vaguely defined as that to become a servant? No, it isn't. While Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is indeed how he is best known, legends of Oberon, the Fairy King, have existed in Europe since ancient times. Perhaps most notably, there's a poem about him from the 15th century, well before Shakespeare's time, where he is described as a king of fairies who can use magic to make any wish come true. Really? I didn't know about that one. Point is, the character was inspired by an existing model, and that model must have become the base for my servant form. Which came first? Who knows? Just another version of the chicken and egg problem. What about Titania, then? Oh, she's all Shakespeare. There are no legends in fairy history of anyone by that name. The name Titania probably came from the Titans of Greek mythology. The Oberon in A Midsummer's Night Dream is pretty self-centered, after all. You could never find a lady who would tolerate him, so Shakespeare had to make one up.
Meh.
But I digress. Sorry for wasting our time. Salisbury's just up ahead. Don't worry about the guards. I'll handle them. All you 3 have to do is stay quiet. It's okay. My face is basically a free pass into the city. Oh, right. One more thing. Do not tell them your names. If they ask and you can't avoid answering, make something up. We don't need anyone else finding out that you're human. And you never know who might be listening. Hold on. Isn't
I
it?
mean, yeah, that's... Sorry.
Hold on. Isn't it dangerous to lie to fairies? I've heard their eyes can see through falsehoods. If so, shouldn't we try to avoid lying wherever possible? Oh, don't worry. The fairies here don't have powers like that. I don't know if they lost them thanks to all this prosperity, or if they threw them away in order to be prosperous, but either way, they definitely can't tell truth from lies anymore. The only way you can tell if you're dealing with a good person or not is when everything's said and done. How else could someone as evil as Morgan have stayed at the top of this world for so long? Ooh, that's pretty. Wow, that really is a huge cathedral. How this gladdens me. The air here is very different from Cornwall. There may be fairies everywhere we turn here too, but I don't sense anything dangerous about them. They all seem happy and full of good cheer. Is there some sort of festival taking place today or something? No, this is just life in Salisbury. It's the only free city in all of Britain. There are about 200,000 people living in Salisbury. Some are wind, earth, and fang fairies. Some are fairies who emerge spontaneously from nature. Some are even independent humans. Independent humans? Humans who've won their freedom and now belong to no one but Britain itself. I was hoping to tell you about that aspect of life here once things had settled down, but I guess it was bound to come up sooner or later. And since the great cathedral is here too, it seems as good a place as any to get into it. You Chaldeans may have thought there were no humans in this Lost Belt, but strictly speaking, that's not true. Humans do exist here, they're just not at the top of the hierarchy. Here they're used as tools to enrich fairy society. In proper human history terms, they're essentially slaves. Didn't you think there was something strange about this city? It's wrong. Twisted. Unseemly. You're right, it's more like a human city than a fairy one. Exactly! Fairies are supposed to live in harmony with nature. Even when they form communities, it's always forest children and stone children gathering under the same Great Mother. They were always just the divided spirits of the planet who never possessed a culture of their own. But as you can see, Fairy Britain has become a place where fairies imitate human society. For about 14,000 years, fairies here have raised humans like cattle. In that time, they used humans' innate creativity as entertainment, which in turn allowed them to flourish. Fairies live long lives and they require no sustenance whatsoever. Since there's nothing they can't do, they never change and they never try anything new. In contrast, humans have countless weaknesses. They live short lives, their injuries don't heal, they need food to survive, they can easily be killed by wild beasts. So naturally, humans came up with all sorts of things that would allow them to survive and flourish in spite of all those weaknesses. I'm guessing the fairies found that kind of human thinking to be absolutely fascinating. It was like finding a shiny new toy. So they began keeping humans as livestock, followed by superficially copying their culture with cities like this one. They completely ignored the substance behind human agriculture, architecture, various fields of study, instead only imitating it at the most basic superficial level. Anything they couldn't copy manually, they fudged with magical energy. That cathedral there is the worst offender. Fairies have no gods and no religion. There was no actual point to making the cathedral, they just thought it was fun. That's Fairy Britain's culture, and it's how they treat humans. So, basically, they ripped off human culture? Well, yes, I guess you could put it that way. Still, as a fairy myself, I can understand how things got to this point. While they definitely took it too far, it makes sense they'd get like this in a world where humans are endangered. Both in proper human history and in this Lost Belt, humans are fairies' favorite source of luxury entertainment. This land came to be known as Fairy Britain when fairies began regulating humans at the societal level. It's also the key political policy of High Queen Morgan, your enemy. Huh? You guys are going to fight Morgan? Yep, or at least that's the current plan. Isn't that right, Silver Shinobi? I still don't have a good handle on the situation here, but I do know we need to meet her. But first, we need to find my other two companions. Oh, right, we do, don't we? First things first and all that. Why don't we start with the pub? There are always people coming and going in pubs, and some of them may know something useful. Why did you stop? Is something wrong? So Shinobi, you've helped me out a lot, and I really do appreciate it, but what should I do? If he's going to fight High Queen Morgan, it'd only complicate things if I stuck around. I wanted to stay with him until he found Mash, but maybe it would be better to go our separate ways here. So that's how it is. By the way, Artoria, do you know what they do to humans in the city they catch without their owners? They're captured as ranch escapees and sent up to New Darlington. New Darlington? As in Darlington, the National Slaughterhouse Theater? I think this is only the second time I've ever seen 3 dialogue options in this game. Say what? That's horrible! But wait, isn't Salisbury supposed to be a free city? The head of the Wind Clan runs this place, right? Surely they wouldn't do anything so horrid. Not necessarily. Not even the head of the Wind Clan can defy the High Queen. So it would definitely be to our advantage to have as many trusted collaborators with us as we can. Silver Shinobi still doesn't know right from left here, and on top of that, he's human. Without an owner to watch over him, it'll just be the Nameless Woods all over again. I'd do it myself, but since I'm obviously noble, even royal, it would strain credulity if I tried to claim a human of unknown origins as one of my attendants. But you, on the other hand, would be a perfect fit for Silver Shinobi. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to stay with him forever, just while we're in Salisbury. You'd prefer that over being alone too, right, Silver Shinobi? I guess you're right. Being alone in Britain these days would make you more likely to attract suspicion from the authorities. But what about Tristan? Couldn't he pretend to be Silver Shinobi's owner? You probably could, but Tristan knows just as little about Fairy Britain as Silver Shinobi. Wouldn't take much questioning from one of the clan guards to expose the facade. I wouldn't go that route unless we had no other choice. But if I have a human attendant, that would mean I'd have to be an upper-class fairy. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Castoria's blushing faces are so cute. Which would also make me Silver Shinobi's owner, and... It would just be pretend. Or were you actually hoping to make him your pet? No, I couldn't. Pretend is fine. I'm still much too young for that. Great, then it's settled. Yep. Silver Shinobi, Artoria's going to be your owner for a while. It'll be the safest way to travel here. Think you can play along? Don't worry, I actually have some acting experience. Okay, if you're sure you want me for this, then I'll do it. Besides, we've come this far together, so I certainly don't mind traveling together a little more. In fact, looking on the bright side, this is actually making one of my childhood dreams come true. Oh? What dream would that be? The same dream every fairy who grows up in the country has. Joining the ranks of upper-class city folk. Hey there, my good Salisburyans! How are you all this fine day? That's right, it is I, Oberon, the Fairy King of the Autumn Woods, the missionary of peace, flowers, and fairy tales, here to grace you with my boisterous presence. Hey, Oberon! Glad to see you're doing well. Nice to have you back in Salisbury again. Just make sure you don't put anything on your tab today, you hear? Oberon! I knew coming today drink was a good idea. Oi! When you paying back the money I lent you? I still have to thank you for your help the other day, Oberon. Your advice really got the trees in my backyard to settle down. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. Lovely, Oberon. You have some time to spare, right? You simply must attend our tea party today. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. There's the poor little prince with the 10,000-year tab. Don't worry, I'll cover this round. I'm still waiting for you to pay me back, though. Will you all cut that out? Stop pointing out how popular I am. I'm here with some important friends today. Save the money talk for another time, alright? We know. Don't worry, we're all just joking. You've enriched our lives way more than the Queen's banknotes ever could. We're happy to treat you. What was that about a 10,000-year tab? So you're poor, even though you call yourself a king? Well, yes, my financials are a little lean just now. Bluntly, I'm flat broke. But what do you expect? When I was summoned to Fairy Britain, all I had on me was this cloak. I woke up in a forest, piled high with dead leaves, and literally nothing to my name. Usually, in a situation like that, I'd be too bummed to do anything but wait for help from proper human history. But since I arrived first, I knew there were things I needed to take care of. Fairies thrive on what they find interesting, so I went around putting on shows in the various cities here. I sang songs, riled up crowds, told fairy tales, entertained housewives, livened up the nights. Over time, the people of Britain came to know me as the regal fairy king of a fief nobody's heard of. Well, at least in the major cities, anyway. Oh, so I didn't know about you because I'm from the countryside. Sorry about that. I'll try to branch out more from now on. Still, this was a hard-fought battle in its own right. Can you imagine what it was like for me to have to act like nobility without any actual capital? I can. I can recall a few, dozen times I lied about my station so I could sing love songs to a beautiful woman I met at a tavern. And indeed, there's nothing quite so tense as that. As a fellow poet, Oberon, I have the greatest respect for what you've accomplished here. I don't suppose you'd be willing to give me a few in-depth lessons on how to roll fairy style, would you? If you'd really like to learn from me, I'd be glad to teach you what I know. Besides, with your music backing me up, I bet I'd be able to expand my clientele even more. Now I see. You're both scoundrels who can't be trusted around women. Tristan's face. Anyway, where should we sit, Oberon?
Really don't know yet.
My favorite table is the round one in the back on the raised floor. It's harder for other customers to see you there, and it gives you a full view of the whole pub. How about we start with a toast of fruit water? Excuse me, cutie, are you the new server? Let the owner know we'll be using the table in the back, okay? Oh, and we'd also like to order 4 apple waters. You got it. I'll have them ready in just a moment. Huh? Huh? Da Vinci? Wow, no way! Silver Shinobi! It's really you! Well, didn't expect to run into her there. Huh. Well... I guess I can finish this section and then we can call it a stream, so... Up in Salisbury.
Up in Salisbury.
Oh man, you'll never believe what happened to me. So after we got separated in the fog, I let my instincts lead me, and that brought me right back to the beach. Luckily, that beach was far enough away from the foggy woods I was able to follow the coastline east. Eventually, I caught sight of Salisbury here and figured I ought to be able to learn more in a populated city. Then when I got here...
An angel, far too good for this world, just appeared on my pub's doorstep. She was very unsteady on her feet, but I could still see the fire in her deep blue eyes when she said, "What a lovely place. Would you let me work here for the rest of my life?"
I never said that. What I said was I'm looking for my companions, but first could I have a glass of water, remember?
Well, if you ever change your mind, you just let me know. You're welcome to work here forever.
Yes, I heard you the first 100 times, Mike. Now back behind the counter. I'll teach you to make cocktails later.
Da Vinci, my perfect angel.
Anyway, that's my story. I'm glad you're okay, Silver Shinobi. You too, Tristan. Although, it looks like you still haven't found Mash yet.
I see. You must be the other servant Silver Shinobi told us about. It's an honor to meet a renowned genius like yourself, Leonardo da Vinci.
Who are you? I'm guessing the fact that you know my name means you're a servant from proper human history?
I'm Oberon. Oberon the Fairy King. Though I guess here it's more of an aspirational title.
It's nice to meet you, Da Vinci. I'm Artoria Castor. I met Silver Shinobi in the Nameless Woods. To make the long story short, I'm going around with Silver Shinobi pretending to be his owner. Seriously? That's hilarious! Thanks, Artoria. That must be a huge weight off Silver Shinobi's shoulders. But hey, you're a British fairy too, right? You've probably got some idea of what it is we're doing here by now. But you're helping Silver Shinobi, so does that mean you're good with it?
Well, more or less.
Honestly, I didn't really get even half of what Silver Shinobi and Oberon told me. But I do know that Silver Shinobi was telling the truth. I wouldn't feel right about abandoning someone in trouble when it's within my ability to help them. And honestly, it seemed kind of fun. Gotcha. Then it should be okay to speak frankly here. So, how did you end up here, Silver Shinobi? Wow. Sounds like you guys had a hell of a time in that forest. Glad you made it out of there okay. Thanks for keeping him safe, Tristan. You too, Oberon, Artoria. So we still don't know much about Britain. We have no idea where Mash is, but we do know that she's still alive. And Oberon is flat broke. Okay, now that we're all on the same page, we can figure out what to do next. You made the right call, Oberon. We shouldn't be wandering aimlessly around Britain right now. What we need to do is set up a base of operations here in Salisbury where we can gather information and tackle our problems one at a time. Our top priority right now is finding Mash, so we'll need to look for info on a girl wearing iron armor. While we do that, we should also learn more about Britain and the lives of the fairies who live it. What did you have in mind for the base? Do you have a place of your own here? I sure do. This pub doubles as an inn. What's up?
What was that beep?
I think that was my phone. Yeah, I need to charge it. Gives a little ding sound when it runs low on battery.
Has it finally been bloody fixed yet?
I tested it yesterday. I was able to make phone calls, so I guess I just have to be more mindful about how. I guess I just have to be more mindful about how much data I use. Alright. Well, technically they just copied a man-made inn without knowing what it was for. So I taught Mike about inns, and how to put all the extra rooms he's got here to good use. And as a little reward for my services, I got to take 3 of the second floor rooms for myself. I knew we'd eventually find each other, and that we'd need a Chaldea frontline base when we did, so that's why I went ahead and made one. Wow, I'm impressed, Da Vinci. And I know Lancelot would be especially blown away by what you've done here. Is this Lancelot person also a young girl? In one sense, you're not wrong. This is great. I can already tell this Da Vinci friend of yours will be a huge help. Alright, since it seems like you guys have things well in hand now, I think I'll take my leave. I've actually got a lot of other things I still have to do. You're going off on your own, Oberon? Yep, I'm going to see what I can find out about this Mash girl. Not to mention, we also need more information about Britain as a whole. Now that you Chaldeans have come here, things are definitely going to change. And since we still don't have many allies on our side yet, I want to make sure we know where things stand in every region. But we'll see you again soon, right? Of course! Especially now that I know where I can find you all. Don't worry, the next time you see me, I'll have good news. In the meantime, I suggest you all get acclimated to Britain sooner than later. Well, damn, he sure didn't waste any time. I'm glad he's on our side, but he definitely dances to the beat of his own drum, doesn't he? Indeed. And that colorful outfit of his speaks to me. Tells me he is without a doubt the same kind of poet as me. Ah, how this gladdens me. So what should we do now? I could show you around Salisbury if you like. Thanks, but I think we should take the rest of the day off. You all walked a long way to get here, after all. Please, go ahead and make yourselves comfy in the rooms I mentioned. So for Shinobi, you take a room for yourself. Tristan and I will share another. And Artoria, you can use the other room I set aside for Mash. I knew I was right not settling for just 2 rooms. Oh, I also put up some Magecraft barriers in the room so we don't have to worry about being, overheard. Looks like we'll be continuing this conversation upstairs. Really? I can have a whole room to myself? For free? Hooray! I've always wanted my own room. I can't wait to get all comfy. Thank you, Da Vinci. gosh, you and proper human history fairies are all so generous. This is great. And now she's gone too. I know I didn't touch on this before, but she's pretty different from the Artoria we know, isn't she? Yes, she is. From what I've seen so far, we should consider her an entirely separate person from King Arthur, Artoria Pendragon, the King of Britain in proper human history. Yep. Which is one more thing I'd like to discuss up in our room, if you don't mind taking this there. It's better if we discuss proper human history stuff just among ourselves. You really can't be too careful here. Alright. Let's begin by sharing what we've learned, starting with this version of Britain. You probably got a sense of this yourselves on your way to Salisbury, but this Lost Belt is very different from all the others we've seen so far. It doesn't look at all like an alternate path human history could have taken, especially since humans aren't the dominant species here. So far as I can tell, this world consists almost entirely of fairies. In Russia, a huge cold snap made it possible for the human species to survive as they were, so they were forced to adapt to evolve. In Scandinavia, the Twilight of the Gods, aka Ragnarok, happened during the Age of Gods, and both gods and people alike were in a sharp decline afterward. China was ruled by a single Zhenren, or true human, and became the sole nation-state in the entire world. India was converging in on itself through endless cycles of reincarnation, only for the whole world instead of individual people. And in Greece, humankind was completely dominated by gods who never died out. While all of them were dead ends, they were all still human worlds. No matter how different they may have been from our timeline, they still had human societies that suited their environments in the year 2019. But that's not the case here. This is very much not a human world. For one thing, there is no world outside of Britain. It's not like the other Lost Belts where we just couldn't see the outside world thanks to the storm walls. There's just nothing in this world at all besides Britain. No other continents, and definitely no other nations. So as long as we're here, the whole planet consists of nothing but the Isle of Britain and the sea. And that means it's basically another world with no relation to human history. Yep. Given what we know now, that's the only way to describe it. Over the last few days, I've been asking various fairies about what things are like between Britain and the other countries, but the very idea of other countries was alien to them. Hey, cheese rat! Ugh. So that tells me there must be some strange circumstance that caused this place to become Fairy Britain. Figuring out what that is will be likely to unraveling this Lost Belt. Hold on. If there aren't any other European countries here, does that mean that every fairy in this land comes solely from the Isle of Britain? That's a great question, Tristan. If there are no other lands in this world, it follows that no fairy legends from those places would be imported here. But luckily, there's still a little thing called human history convergence. What that means is, as long as a fairy once existed on Earth, their existence will remain, even if their form and history are different. So even in this Fairy Britain, having fairies from various European legends showing up in different forms. Basically, the ecosystems are similar, even if the environments aren't. Since this is still the same planet Earth, there are inevitably going to be similar life forms, civilizations, large-scale events. Similar life forms, huh? Yep. Fairy Britain may be nothing like the Britain we know, but despite that, the two Britons have a surprising number of things in common. Things like city names, fairy names, even the name of this world's queen. Remember that huge castle to the north you saw on the way here? It belongs to High Queen Morgan, ruler of Fairy Britain. And it probably won't surprise you to learn that its name is Camelot. That's right. Here, the same castle that symbolized British peace and proper human history, that was home to King Arthur and to the Knights of the Round Table, belongs to Morgan. The strongest, most despised witch in British history, and the one indirectly responsible for King Arthur's death and Britain's downfall. I did hear her name a few times on the way here, but man. Yep. As far as I've been able to find out, Morgan's ruled Fairy Britain for almost 2,000 years. There are 6 different fairy clans here. Wind, Earth, Fang, Mirror, Wing, and one other. They waged war with each other constantly for thousands of years, until Morgan used evil magecraft to defeat them, subjugated half of the clans through force, and united all of Britain. Afterwards, she gave the humans of this world a limited degree of freedom, made them build a foundation for civilization, and developed this imitation society over the course of the last 2,000 years. Morgan. So even in this Lost Belt, she's still trying to... But no, I suppose I shouldn't say that. I'm sure this Morgan is a different person from the one we know. So what exactly is her reign like? Since she calls her castle Camelot, does that mean she's fair and just? In a way King Arthur would be proud of? No, it's pretty horrible. She has strict limits on the number of humans that can be born each year, and she rules the fairies with an iron fist. Every fairy that lives in an urban area is inscribed with Morgan's curse, command spells, as part of their civic duty. And every year, fairies inscribed with these command spells are forced to donate some of their vitality. Magical energy, essentially. They call it the existence tax. Oh, so that's the one Doga was talking about. And any fairies who can't pay it, essentially who can't provide enough magical energy to satisfy Morgan, are killed right then and there. Apparently, when she first took the throne, Morgan told the fairies, "I offer neither absolution nor salvation. I demand only that you obey without question or hesitation. Show me your fealty in word and action, and I shall keep Britain safe. Any fairies who can't handle this state of affairs and become unable to work are either taken into Camelot and dealt with there, or they escape the cities and run away to lands no one else knows about." Carrizul is heading out. Okay. So that's why those fairies were there. Such an oppressive regime is bound to spark opposition. But even so, Morgan has maintained her iron grip on Britain for 2,000 years. Yep. Which just goes to show how powerful she must be. She takes half the soul of every fairy in Britain each year, and there's still no fairies able or willing to stand up to her. That said, there are some positive sides to Morgan's reign. Remember those black things we fought near the shore? The fairies call them Moors, and they're one of the calamities that have been plaguing Fairy Britain since its inception. Occasionally, fairies that lose their purpose or their spark end up turning into these Moors creatures. Moors are essentially the fairies' natural predators. Just touching one is enough to infect a fairy, ultimately transforming them into a Moors too. It's kind of like a disease that only affects fairies. And the Moors aren't the only calamity Britain has to regularly contend with. There are lots of others that pop up on a regular basis. And Morgan's, the High Queen's army, is constantly fending them off. Morgan may be cold and ruthless ruler, but she's also the sword that keeps Britain safe. The fairies may fear and hate her, but they also depend on her. You know what this is making me think of? This is making me think of, Black Adam and his rule over Kandak. I believe the words he used in Injustice were, "My rule is strict but fair." And that's the current state of Fairy Britain.
Sounds like Morgan's definitely this Lost Belt's king then.
Yep, that seems like a very safe assumption. Which means she'd also have to be the one who used Rongominiad. That spell was so powerful it reached Olympus from here. No one else could have cast it. Though, of course, that unfortunately also means Beryl Gut is involved with Morgan somehow. So I'd say that makes our chances of peaceful negotiation with her basically nil.
I see. Then we have our own reasons for defeating her.
Yep. Though we might have a hard time getting into Camelot since apparently no one can enter it without her permission. That said, even Morgan's reign isn't perfect. In fact, there's new hope going around Britain right now. As luck would have it, we showed up here at the exact right time, just as things are about to change.
So what's this new hope?
The Child of Prophecy. Specifically, a child whose existence was prophesied by the head of the now extinct Mirror clan, right before they disappeared. From what I heard, it went something like this. 16 years from now, a savior shall appear. Guided by the staff of selection, the true king will take the throne. When the 6 bells ring out, the false queen will fall. Alongside Fae and humans, the savior will bring an end to this false history. So what do you think? Sounds vaguely familiar, right? It's got credibility out the wazoo, too, since the Mirror Clan's prophecies have never once been wrong. The High Queen's been trying to prevent the inevitable by rounding up every fairy who turns 16 this year. But the fact that this Child of Prophecy hunt is still going on proves that she still hasn't caught them. Suffice to say, between the Moors and the Child of Prophecy alone, the cracks are showing in the High Queen's reign. So if we play our cards right, we might just be able to negotiate with Morgan after all. That said, finding Mash definitely comes first. For the time being, you should rest up and recover your strength. Then tomorrow we can start gathering information. Quietly and casually, of course, so as not to arouse suspicion.
Oh, man. It feels like forever since I last laid down on a soft bed. The British Lost Belt, High Queen Morgan. Altria, Oberon. Mesh, wherever you are, please be safe.
Okay, I think we could use some rest too. Servants might not need to sleep, but it's still tiring to be constantly watching out for threats, right? I mean, you never took your fingers off your bowstrings even once that entire time. Guess that's why you were a Knight of the Round Table, huh?
Just your noticing that suggests I might need rest as well. But not just yet. But please, don't refrain from resting on my account, Da Vinci. You may be a servant too, but you're also a being living in the here and now, just like Silver Shinobi. So go on, get some sleep. Don't worry, it's my duty to protect you as well as him.
Gotcha. I guess I should have expected that kind of consideration from Tristan, the Child of Sadness, and the most handsome Knight of the Round Table. Okay then, I think I'll take you up on that. Honestly, I was pretty beat.
By all means. But first I have just one request for you. I don't want to take too much of your time, but before you fall asleep, I was hoping you could tell me about the 6th singularity. Specifically, I would like to hear about the version of me who was summoned there, and what I was doing in the holy city of Camelot. Ooh.
Alright. With that, I think we're at a good point where we could stop. So, let's see. Who are we going to raid? Let's see who we can raid. Let's see. Two Love Troubles doing some Fate Grand Order stuff. Kuragi Tutu. We can go ahead and raid her. Boo. We're gonna go ahead and raid her with, suddenly, Mothman! Alright,
The Babas is snoozing behind me.
the Babas is snoozing behind you.
Yeah, he is. He's on his box.
Aw. Alright. Let's see. I got some pure prisms from that, so let's see what we can get from the shop.
何か物入りかなへへマナプリズムと交換まだ見ていくうんうんアイテム交
Yes,
換
the
だね
shop that we totally have time for because we're about to raid.
I mean, it doesn't take that long.
Oh, excuse me.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab some.
Now.
Let me go ahead and grab some gems of assassin. There we go.
Let's go.
All right. MSO, hey. Of course, you show up at the end.
Boss man. Suddenly.
All right. Let's go ahead and raid, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I was busy today anyhow. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's raid.